All right, Sistas fans, this is the mid-season finale review, Season 8, Episode 11, entitled Breathe. Similar to Episode 10, despite the faults, it gets the same score of a 7 out of 10. Both of these episodes, I feel, were the strongest of the season, but not by much. It's just because, I don't know, maybe it's because both episodes aired back-to-back. I honestly couldn't tell you. Because, one could argue that if we only got one episode per week, then maybe these scores would vary. But I think this episode had a decent amount. Honestly, I would almost want to put it at an 8, just a slightly bit higher score than episode 10, just because we went into this episode almost completely blind. Due to the fact that aside from, we got clips of the episode. I was about to say, we went into this episode without any clips, but we did. Never mind, it's 7 out of 10. So, make sure you hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. Hit subscribe and hit the bell notification icon. That way you don't miss out whenever I post content on the channel. So, the first scene is actually pretty cringy. I don't know why they've made Robin such a simp, even more so than season 5 when he was doing whatever he could to get back on Andy's good side, due to the fact that, he told her off about sleeping with the janitor. But then when the janitor lied, saying that there was nothing going on between him and Andy, Robin was all apologetic and Andy didn't want to hear it. And then didn't come crawling back to him until she needed the $1.5 million to help Sabrina. And I feel like a similar thing is going to happen after this episode, where in the back half of the season, she might ask Robin to help represent Penelope because let's just skip to this real quick. Penelope is in her interrogation or interview, whatever you want to call it, with Agent Watt. And she pretty much explains that she left protective custody simply due to the fact that she was tired of. And I like her rationale. It makes sense. Why do I have to hide while this SOB is out here just living his life, raising hell? And it's not fair. So I want it to be free. And then, things took a turn when she decided to follow Gary and then went to the wedding venue and she was having the blackouts. And, it's kind of sad that despite everything in regards to losing a baby, she still felt that she wanted, just a small piece of her wanted to forgive him. But she, still didn't say that, hey, it's not like I'm still in love with him or anything. But then from there, it moves to the fact that I must have done it because, that leads to the whole retelling of what she told Jordan about, blacking out and blood on her hands and whatnot. So yeah, as an audience member, we know that, she didn't do it. It's just it's an easy way to kind of close the case, but it's not. And the whole time I was sitting there yep. Bet this heifer would have, wishes she accepted, I bet she wishes she accepted, Gary's or Andy's offer for help. Yeah. But I will say this real quick, low key, the unsung hero of this episode, or both of them when you think about it, was the sassy front desk police officer that Jordan was talking to at the police station. Hey, ain't you the one that's messing around with little girls? Yeah, I seen the TV reports about you. And the blogs talking about, okay, let me see if I can get this straight now. You mess around with them little white girls, underage, and then you and that Andrea Barnes, the girl that used to be on Arm Candy, y'all two broke up, and then she got back together with the man that was supposed to marry your sister Penelope, huh? Yeah, the one she was pregnant, and then she ends up in the clinker back there talking to the FBI agent, while that Andy, your Arm Candy, was about to marry the man that knocked her up, and then he gets stabbed. Look, I was exonerated of those charges. Yeah, well, your campaign officers, they dropped you out of the running. And I love this aspect because it's not every day that we get just the average everyday citizen, someone from the outside looking in who only knows about the inner workings of the deception and the backstabbing and all that stuff that's going on via social media and the news. And it just adds a new layer of perspective that I really appreciate. But like I said, her sassiness is what killed me. And I felt that if she and Pam got together just to sit down and talk, they would flood at ATL with all the tea they'd spill between each other. I love this character. I love her. Okay, so later on, Penelope's seen being taken to the back room, and Jordan runs by this. Hey, you ain't allowed to be back here. It's like, Penelope, what's going on? Well, she's under arrest for the stabbing of Gary Borders. No. And then she's taken back, and then Jordan's freaking out. Again, I bet she wished she would have accepted Andy's offer now. But speaking of Andy and Penelope, okay, so Robin, first of all, I want to ask for your consent to get a kiss. No one's ever asked for consent for a kiss before. I don't know, this felt so cringy. It really did, because it's like Robin is being honest about his feelings and shit, and I don't know. It's just felt weird because on the one hand, that part got on my nerves, and then, she rejected him. And I feel like it's all a freaking power move. That's all it is. That's how Andy operates. She hates being on the back foot. And when she's able to usurp some of that power, so she's the one in control, that's when all of a sudden she finds a backbone. That's what's pissed me off about Andy so much lately, where she'll get a backbone or slap a person, but it's never the person who deserves it the most. And Robin says something that I'm so glad that's finally said. Andy, it doesn't matter what you do for the firm. And I'm not trying to diminish your incredible accomplishments, the milestones you've reached by bringing in big, wealthy clients to the firm and whatnot. But your presence there in the midst of everything going on could put a stain on the firm's reputation. I've been saying that for years. Her being up for partner and everything. I'm just like, it's going to look really weird to have her. I feel like if you put Andy's last name on the side of the building, it might as well be, on a command strip. So you could just take it on and off, because this woman keeps freaking up so badly. She's caught in between a one scandal or an investigation, and then the company's going to need to distance themselves from her. So it's best to kind of wait for things to chill out. But no, she is going to work no matter what. And the way she was talking, I'm thinking to myself, I hope the fans give Andy the same energy they were giving Penelope several episodes ago when she was over at the penthouse, not willing to listen. In her mind, Andy is plotting against her in order to keep Gary all for herself. If you pay attention to the context, and look, all those episodes ago, like when Penelope slapped Andy and went on this tirade, I said, look, I know that Penelope is coming across as annoying. So is Jordan. But you have to look at things from their perspective. And if you do, it certainly seems like Andy has ulterior motives and she's acting hella shady. And she was. Now, I also told you all that I think Penelope, she was truly coming across how Andy used to come across when everybody would tell her that Gary was no good. Even when it came down to like Jasmine, his, wife at the time, and so many other people. And like Leslie, the PI, and Ben, he was portrayed by the same actor that plays Tom in Bruh. He was only in 1 or 2 episodes, but he was the lawyer that Andy called to the hospital to talk with Gary, because remember, Gary was going to be charged for, attempted murder by throwing his wife off the top of the parking garage. And Gary didn't want Ben's help because, he was jealous and all that crap. So he's like, I did some research on your boy Gary and he's bad news. And Andy didn't want to hear any of it. Now in this situation, Andy, for some reason, thinks that, oh, you want to keep me away from the firm and give my caseload to Hayden in order to, maintain power or something. I'm thinking that doesn't make sense, Andy, because what does you making partner have to do with anything in regards to the power structure that would threaten Robin? That doesn't make any sense. She just she just felt in her mind, oh, no. You just want to keep me away from Gary. That's what it is, because you want me all to yourself. Yeah, well, it's not happening. See your way out. I'm going to work. Andy, the workday's almost over. No, I'm still going. Okay, so Andy goes to the park. Oh, yeah, okay. Most of this stuff I'm going to glaze over because, well, sorry, not glaze, but just skim over because I did like a 20-minute video talking about the clip that was released where Andy gets put on leave and slaps Robin. But real quick, let's talk about this big white guy in the parking garage. At first, I thought, wait, is this somebody that Hudson sent in order to get rid of Andy because he sees her as a problem since she's the only person Gary remembers? Or could this just be like some, security dude that Robin put into action to keep Andy away from the firm? But I don't know. All I know is Andy, it looked pretty bad because she felt someone was following her and then eventually made it into the building. Now, when she's in a huff after getting put on leave and, out of the running for getting partner, I guess that she forgot about this dude because I was like, why? She should have got security or somebody to walk her to her car. But I guess she was in her feelings and forgot. So we're just left with her being chased by this dude again. But in the middle, she gets back to the office. Fatima's glad to see her. But, she tells her like, hey, there's this big meeting going on between Robin and all the partners. And Andy's freaking out. Robin gives her the rundown of, the partners agree that, your leave at first was voluntary, but now it's mandatory. And you're taken out of the running for being partner. And this heifer going to slap him in the face in front of everybody. And I'm just thinking to myself, yeah, you should get fired for that. Even when the investigation is done and it turns out you're innocent, yeah, that is not professional behavior at all. You can say what you want about Robin deserving the slap. Oh, he only did it because Andy rejected him and yeah. But that is some unprofessional BS. And, like security should have taken her behind out of the building. That is not cool at all. I don't care if you're an Andy fan, and I don't care if you're a Fatima fan, because she was like out of pocket for low-key threatening to come back with, her bag of what in case, Andy calls her. And I'm thinking, so you're literally threatening to kill this dude because your girl's not going to be partner. Just, y'all wildin'. So that's the end of that. Now, in regards to the other storyline, so following up from episode 10, oh yeah, also I've only seen a couple of clips, but I've never seen Love and Basketball, the entire movie. So some people were telling me, hey Jeremy, Sabrina and Rich were playing 21 and Sabrina won 21-16. And that's a reference to the movie. That's cute, but I cannot say that I know that reference. I did like the idea where Sabrina's like, no, don't say it was luck. Because if we have a little girl, I'm going to need her daddy to tell her that if she manages to win over a boy, it's not luck, it's skill. I did like that. That was actually pretty sweet. But I like this scene. It was different. Some people say it was a waste of time, but I like it because it wasn't just them talking about sperm. It was these two having a genuine moment. Oh yeah, Maurice and Grayson couldn't make it. Maurice said he just did his nails and yada yada yada. But it's just the fact that Rich is like, hey, you know what? Let me get to know your friends more. Maurice and Grayson. Let's have some fun. Let me see what you got on the basketball court. Loser has to give the winner a bubble bath. And it was just sweet. And Novi, she doesn't sweat, she glistens. And it was beautiful. But I like this scene. I liked it a lot. Now, actually, Rich gets a phone call, I believe, while they're on the basketball court. And it's from the hospital saying that regarding his sample, they want him to come back to the lab to talk to him in person about something. So it's like, uh-oh. So it doesn't seem to be good. Now, when it comes to Tony and Danni, you know, Tony comes over for dinner, Danni cooked, and it's interesting because she's like, yeah, I got sparkling cider instead of wine. And I'm thinking that's right up my alley because if you know me, Welch's sparkling. I don't drink alcohol, so this would have been right up my damn alley. So she wants to like substitute, you know, wine for sparkling cider and no drugs or anything. But then, you know, the dinner was good. So then they end up, you know, making out. But then before they can even have sex, it's almost like Danni has a bit of an epiphany that, oh my gosh, do I really use sex like drugs and alcohol? Is it one of my vices? And Tony's like, hey, okay. Well, we don't have to do anything you don't want to. So if you just want to talk about it, then we could talk about it. We don't have to have sex if if you're not feeling it or you're feeling uncomfortable. And then, you know, Danni goes in her whole, see, there you go again. I'm tired of being your therapy project. And then, you know, she throws the flowers at Tony and he just leaves. And then after she just gets upset and takes a hit of her vape, then she goes into what she believes is a heart attack, but it is confirmed to be a panic attack in the next couple episodes. And from there, I want to save the Karen stuff for last because trust and believe, I have a lot of stuff to say on that. So Fatima and Hayden meet briefly in the hallway, and, you know, honestly, it's just kind of like an exchange of words, but Fatima quickly just sends Hayden running the moment she mentions your dollar store wife and Gary. And then we see that Hayden winds up at the hospital. Well, actually, no. He's back at home with Tamara. They're having sex. But then, you know, what Fatima said got under his skin. And he's like, so, what you been telling people about us? What are you talking about, Hayden? Nothing. I got to go to the hospital. Looking good in that blue. So then at the end, we get Hudson, who's calling someone. I don't know, but we might have a problem. I wonder if this is in reference to Andy, because Gary is so just, I mean, this scene has me thinking he really isn't playing about the memory loss. Hudson is trying to get this dude to come to again. It's like, look, I'm Hudson. Don't you remember me? I need Andy. I can't stay here. Look. And then the more he tries to like calm him down, the more it doesn't work. She's my fiance. Look, you have 5 to 6 fiancés. It doesn't matter. It's like, look, doctors, nurses, this man is a danger to himself. And then, you know, he gets stabbed with the, you know, good to make him just fall out. And, dang, this is pretty wild. So Gary's going to be stuck in that hospital for a while. Now, that's when he calls somebody saying we might have a problem, and then goes outside to talk. I have no idea who this is. Some people say it's Jasmine. Some people say it's like another person involved with this bigger scheme. I don't know. But then Hayden comes into the room, just glaring at Gary, saying, oh, this is what you deserve. And then takes a pillow like he's about to smother him, and that's the end of the episode. But we know he's not going to smother him based off the trailer, showing that Gary is still alive. He's talking with Hayden and Hudson in the next episode. Now, the last thing to talk about. Over at the salon, Karen is talking to Aaron on the phone, just giving him an update about, hey, can we have dinner tonight? Can we do that to talk? So that way, you know, the silent partner can be in the know about the fact that things are going well with the Marie Willis investment into Roots to Riches. And then she's talking to Pam, and it turns out, you know, Aaron's growing on me. So from there, Zach actually texts Karen about baby stuff and is getting on her nerves. Meanwhile, she's trying to do this. What's her name? Justice is trying to get her hair done. And Karen keeps, you know, stopping because her phone is blowing up. And then it gets to the point where one of the texts that sends Karen off the rails is Zach saying, don't breastfeed our baby so I can get the baby sooner. And then the client just decides to leave because, you know, there's just way too much going on right now. And I love how she gets up with half her hair done. And then Pam's like, you better come back here with them rollers. I ain't gonna lie, them curls that have, I'm not saying this is a look women should do all the time, but it looked kind of cute on her. But then again, I'm biased because I love girls with long hair or women with long hair, so that was pretty funny. I will give these 2 episodes some credit because I did get some legit laughs. In episode 10, it was Hayden being an asshole and all the low blows he was doing to Karen and Pam about their ghetto business. And in this episode, people like Pam just had great lines. So the next thing to talk about is over at Zach and Fatima's. Karen is back to her old ways. She just struts over there unannounced. She does apologize for saying, "I'm sorry for coming over now," coming over unannounced. And that's the sad part because in episode 10, it seemed like things were going well between her and Fatima. But now it's like, I'm actually here to see Zach. And it turns out that aside from the hundreds of texts that Karen got, it's like, why couldn't you just text that to Zach? Why couldn't you text me? And then she reveals the breastfeeding thing, and that was the last straw, and that's why it's like I came over here to nip it in the bud. So, next thing you know, they're double teaming Zach. It's like, Zach is talking about elementary schools and the pacifiers and this, that, and the third. Oh, heaven forbid, a proactive father. And earlier in the salon, Pam was like, girl, come on now, you ought to be thankful. You got 2 babies in your stomach by 2 baby daddies, and both of them are going to be very active. You ought to be happy, because I know women that have 1 child, 1 baby daddy, and that baby daddy don't want to have anything to do with them. So yeah, I don't know why they ruined Zach's character. Blowing up the phone is one thing, but to say the breastfeeding line, that was way over the top. And yes, we know that Zach be doing too much at times, but that is just way too ridiculous. Way too ridiculous. So now they're just going back and forth, and that was pretty much the last scene I needed to discuss. But yeah, that was the mid-season finale in a nutshell. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll catch you in the next video.